Illuvium Beyond is coming out sometime in August. That is when it's slated to be released. We don't know when exactly. It could be pushed a little bit later, but you guys are going to want to start preparing because I've got a fun fact about SRV2 later that especially anyone that's new to the Illuvium Beyond ecosystem is 100% going to want to know. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned for this one as we go through the Illuvium Beyond Wave 2, what you should be looking out for, and maybe even kind of what you should be considering in regards to Wave 1. Now, the first thing I should mention is that there has been a proposal that has now been confirmed that talks a little bit about the different pricing structure and the different odds structure in Wave 2. The first thing is in Wave 2, the mega threshold is quite a bit higher, which means that you're going to get much more tier 3s and tier 4s and a few more tier 2s. But more importantly, you're just going to get better alluvials in general, making them a really great value to purchase. Standard discs are still absolutely fantastic though, and everything has become cheaper overall, with standard discs being $6 and megas becoming $36. Now, it's worth considering that just like Wave 1, there will be individual goals for people playing Illuvium Beyond. Basically what that means is for every disc you buy, there will be a little goal that you can achieve. For Wave 1, I believe there was maybe buy 5 discs, 10 discs, 25, 50, 100, 200, that sort of thing. I'm not sure exactly what the numbers are, but each of them are different rewards. Things like, I don't even remember what the rewards were. There might have even been a merch discount code for one of them. I think I've still got it in my email somewhere, but they are really, really fantastic. So that's why you might want to be considering standard discs over the mega discs. Now, at the start of the sale, there will be an alpha sale, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but the most important thing I want to talk about here is the different Illuvatars. Which ones should you be going for? Which ones are the most rare? And what you should be looking out for. So as we can see at the start here, we've got Wink, which is the Fennec Fox, I think it's based on, which is a tier 3 stage 1. In Mega Discs, I think this will be relatively common, so keeping that in mind. Relentless List, which will obviously be really awesome to get. I actually really love that expression, but a lot of the links are going to come up quite often in a mega disc from what I can tell, and they'll come out pretty frequently in a standard disc as well, even though a standard disc will be mostly full of the tier 1 alluvials. You've got the Arcane and Stoic Floral links, also the Lynxes. And you got, now is where it starts to get interesting. You've got M-Joel, which is the stage 1 polar bear. It looks absolutely awesome. If you disagree with that, just go watch a different video. I love the M-Joel one. And it's a tier 4 stage 1. We even saw that Fiery was quite hard to come by in Wave 1, which was also a tier 4 stage 1, but it's definitely achievable. That being said, the uncommon or the rare expression for this one here is actually going to be quite valuable and quite impressive. Even in Wave 1, they were valued about $100 for some of those higher expressions. So if you get a rare expression for any tier 4, you're in luck. Riplance is the tier 3 stage 3. Now we got the tier 3 stage 1 in Wave 1. So if you want to continue that collection, Riplance is really one you're going to want to be going after. Ophisto, again, we got the tier 5 stage 1 Squiz in Wave 1. So Ophisto is going to help you complete that collection. And Ophisto is actually going to be the one that is the most rare in this entire set. If you get a holo Ophisto, that is the grail of Wave 2. That is what you should be going for. Here is Sinalf. This looks like a holo one. This is your Squiz of this wave. And Squiz was actually pretty rare in the last wave. Kind of similar to M-Joel, probably a little bit harder to come by. But again, the other expressions and holos and stuff on this sort of one is absolutely insane. Now, Umbre. Umbre is the tier 4 stage 2. Now, we did get the stage 3, sorry. We did get the stage 2 in Wave 1. But with the stage 3 here, it's going to have the same odds or similar odds to Geyser. And Geyser was just as rare as your tier 5 stage 2s, your Goliaths and your Adorido, which barely have any that were found in the last wave. So if you get an Umbre, it's really, really good. If you get some of the other expressions, you've got quite the grail from this set. Ramphy is very similar to the Squiz as well. So what it looks like is we've got, Sinalf is the stage 2, so that's quite hard to come by. Ramphy, not as bad, that's similar to the Squiz. As we get down here, we got Matu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. We got Matu right there. He is the tier 4 stage 2, so he's going to be pretty rare, but not too bad. And then you have Caradulo with the tier 1 stage 2, which is not going to be too hard to come by. If you're going to get that, you're probably going to get it from a standard disc. Might not even be possible in a mega disc. A Monarch is a tier 3 stage 3, which is also going to go on with the Moth line. And I believe the entire moth line is in this set. No, it doesn't look like it. It's missing one. The entire fox line is in this set. There's something that's in this set. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure either the moth or, yeah, there's monarch there. I think the moth line might be in the set, but I can't remember. Sorry. I'm not going to delay anymore. So monarch is really, really rare, but it's not going to be too hard, too bad. Although it's worth considering that Riplance and monarch are both in the same wave this time. So that makes both of them a little bit harder to obtain. So keeping that in mind, they're both going to be pretty rare to find. Ebb being the tier 4 stage 1, I don't think it will be too difficult to find. Again, that means we have 2 tier 4 stage 1, so they're going to be a little bit harder to find. So your fiery might be a little bit easier to encounter than either your Ebb or your Emyol. I don't know how to pronounce that. Allura tier 3 stage 2 is not going to be too bad. It's going to come out semi-frequently in your mega discs. Quinks, which is the stage 2 of the fox, is a tier 3 stage 2. Very similar to Allura, again, double up there. Relentless Terror links, the other links is like before. Ace tier 3 stage 1, I expect this to come out a lot, sometimes in standard discs and pretty frequently in your mega discs. Arcalion, these are a bit harder to come by than you might think because they don't quite get enough power for the mega disc, but they're also pretty hard to get out of a standard disc. Then you'll look about 20-30 stands before you start to pull one of these, and you're really going to want it because Archie is one of the awesome ones from the last set, and it's also got a GameStop variant, so completing that set's going to be quite good, and it's also one of the best looking in this entire set. Kukarath. This is a huge one. Same rarity as Arcalion here, so they're both going to be a little bit more difficult to obtain. But Kukarath completes a set from Wave 1. Wave 1 had the stage 1 and 2, so you need Kukarath to get that milestone on the leaderboard. So maybe opening standard discs quite a bit in this wave is going to be quite a good play, both for the individual rewards and trying to get your Arcalion and Kukarath, especially if you can get like a holo variant of them. Your 3 monkeys are your most common ones in this entire wave. The last thing I'll talk to you guys about is SILV2. For anyone who doesn't know, SILV2 is a token that you can claim from staking when you're getting all your yield and everything, which would forego the equivalent of ILV claim that you can make. And basically, you can use SILV2 to buy discs from the DAO. You cannot use them to buy discs from other players unless they've listed them in SILV2. But you can use them to buy from the DAO. And why this is important is because they are pegged to the price of ILV. All right. So if ILV is slated at $40, like it is right now, and SILV2 is about $30, like it is right now, then you can buy that SILV2 for $30 and then spend it as a $40 token to buy a Luvitar. So anyone who's really into Illuvium Beyond should definitely be making sure to utilize that. I've got some other videos on my channel regarding how to buy SILV2 off the open market, or you can go and ask in the Discord. I can't really tell you here. It's not too bad, but make sure that you do your research and you're being safe when you're buying tokens that aren't super common and aren't on centralized exchanges and things. Sometimes you got to be careful around that sort of thing on decentralized exchanges. But if you want to go buy it, go ask around in the Discord, and it will help you get just that little bit more purchasing power to make your Luvitar's experience that much better.